Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we'll be seeing about a very interesting session where we'll be learning how to create games. So we have just experienced playing games, but it's more interesting on just creating games. So in this video we'll be seeing how to create games without actually coding. So most of the developers or most of the starters, they actually feel tough about coding. So we're going to see about a software, really software, a web software or a web app which can give us a good amount of output in making our games, and I actually create it into applications and also post it in the web. So we're going to actually see about Scratch. So I hope most of you know about the Scratch project, which is being developed by MIT. So it's just going to be drag and drop coding. So you no need to really code on each and every line, or it's very easy to make games and publish it in Play Store. So in this video we are going to see about what is the Scratch and how it works. Like we'll be coding a small code, and then I'll be teaching you how to just actually start making your games and make it and actually create an Android app. And at last we will be rendered with the learning outcomes will be rendered with an complete application of your own type. So now we'll start. So first open your browser. So I'm switching on my browser. So in your browser, you have to actually type a website. I've given the website in the description. You can just click and it redirects you to the page. Now just I'm going to the website. It's scratch.mit.edu. So there are two versions. One is online and offline. So we are going to do it in online versions, because offline has few kind of like we don't have much features in offline version, as it's the same copy of online. So it's better to use online itself. So first what you have to do is you have to join the Scratch community. So just click join Scratch. So you will be displayed a screen like this, join Scratch, and you will be left out a place where you can create a unique username. So I'm typing innovation guys. Okay, now we have to also make a password. Okay, I mean your username shouldn't have spaces, so it should have some special characters. So I'm putting this kind of username. So you can choose your own username. So now we can just type the password. Just typing my password. Now we can just click next, and it will ask your country. I'm selecting my country, and then they'll actually ask your date of birth. So you can give your date of birth and get in, and you can also you have these kind of questions which ask, and you have to give your email address. That's the most important part over here. Okay, I'm signing in. Okay, it actually shows up a welcome page. When you just enter it, you can just click get started. Now, speaking about Scratch, it's going to be really a very fun way of making games. So you can't actually like, it's not only that you can make only games, you can also make like animations or some other stuffs using this. So you have to confirm your email. You can just click confirm email. Now you will be actually redirected to your email page. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to just go to your mail. Now once you get inside your mail, you would have got some confirmation from scratch.mit.edu. Yeah, you got a mail like that. Just go there and click confirm account, or you can just click this link given here. So it redirects to your page. So it shows welcome to Scratch. Now you can go to the past page and click Control R, so it reloads. Now this is what the complete things are. So these are all the shared projects. Now what you can do is you can just click create. Now it pushes you to an editor. So in this editor you can make any kind of games. Now I will be explaining the GUI of the editor and the interface of the editor. So as you can see, this is going to be the editor. It's, as you can see, it's more user interactive. So this is what the Scratch the uh, default ambassador. So this cat is the default ambassador of Scratch. So in from the version 1 you install, you see this cat. Now we'll just go into the code, jump into the code directly. Now in the code you can actually see a lot of stuffs, a lot of blocks. So you no need to actually code in some workspace. So for example, now you just click this particular sprite. So when it comes to 2D games, it is called sprite. So if you just click the sprite and actually so this is going to be a start and stop buttons. So you have to go to controls, so where you not a controls events. So you'll be finding the start button. When flag click, you don't have a stop button exactly. You should actually click this button when you have to stop the code. So you can just drag it and drop it over here. So when you click this flag, like this sprite should move 10 steps. So you have to actually select that. So the code belongs to only this sprite. Now let's see what happens. Okay, 10 steps are really very small. Now let's increase the steps to somewhat 50. Okay, so it will actually move from here. So if you just put the values in plus, it goes in x-axis. So this is what the x-axis is. When you put it in minus, it goes to the x dash, that is minus axis. So now let's put our sprite over here at the edge and click the flag. You can see it moved some, it actually moved extra. Now I'm putting it in center and adding minus here, and when you click flag, it goes backwards. So this is what the basic thing on the move front and move back. So how you can make it more interactive? So let's make another piece of code. So in controls, you'll be actually having the if statements and forever loops. You'll be having these kind of statements. So first take forever, because as you see, when I just click the flag, it just moves one time. But if I want to make it to move continuously, I can actually I'll just put it as 50, so it can move forward. And I'm putting my sprite over here. So you can't actually put like this because it goes faster. Now what you have to do exactly is, now pull the sprite over to the same position. You will be having a thing called delay. So now each and every 50 steps, it will just wait. Now let's put a really less value. I'll put 1. Let's check the speed. Okay, it looks like the cat is just like moving. Now I'm bringing the cat back. Now you can just make it even as a decimal points. I'm just writing 0.5. That's enough. So it's going faster. So but you can see actually the sprite how to make the sprite the legs to actually move. So you I'll introduce a new thing, that's Sprite Sheet. So actually what Sprite Sheet has is that it has a set of combinations of characters movement. So if you can see the leg front and back over here, now what you can do is the front leg goes back and this leg comes front. So that's what the walking animation is. Now what you can do is, as you can see a costume, you will be having this default stuff. So as you see this part of costume 2, you can see that the leg has actually moved. Now what we can do is, what we can do is, so each and every time we should actually change the costume. So let's set the let's set the sprite to the default costume. So you can actually put it in front, switch, not even here. You have to actually put it here. So it should switch to costume 1 when the flag is clicked. And once in every 50 steps, after 50 steps, it should change the costume. So now go to looks. You can just click next costume in order to avoid some sort of confusion. Now you can just click play. Now you can see it looks like the sprite is walking. Now what we can do next? So we have just created a basic animation. Once we click it, the sprite actually moves forward. Let's make something more interesting, or once again we'll try making it faster. Okay, okay. So we have to reduce the delay 0.4, not even 4. I'll just put it at somewhere around 2, and let's make it to run faster. Okay, 50 steps. You just put it over here and just click play. You can see a good sort of animation. Now, why can't we make this more interactive, this code a more interactive one? Okay, now we'll be looking for controls, like how to make your sprite get controlled by your keys. Now we have events like this when spacebar click, but I actually say no to it because it creates some sort of confusion in your code. So we can before clicking your flag, when you just click these buttons, key buttons, the sprite starts to move automatically. So that's sort of confusion in your code. Now I recommend to just put a if statement. Now as you see here, I mean in the controls you'll be having if statements. So you can take the delay because we don't have it. So you have to right click before deleting a block. Click right click and click delete block and put this under the if statement. Now here we will be having operators. Not even operate in sensing. So in sensing you can actually see key pressed. So when you press a particular key, the sprite moves. Now let's click go. Okay, now I'm clicking my space bar button. Oh, yeah, it's very faster, right? So what we can do is we can add another delay, or we can probably we can reduce the steps and just click play. Can you see it's walking? Yeah, good. So now what we can do is we can actually make it more controllable. Like for example, like if you saw the difficulty, I have to drag this kind of stuff like this sprite from the edge to here back. So why can't I actually include it in code? Yes, you have a kind of block over here. So in motion, the first ever block, you will be, so wherever you drag your sprite, you have to drag it somewhere. Like for example a particular place over here, you can see this actually changes. You just note the value. I'll just change the position of the sprite. You can see there's a change, so it gets updated each and every time. You just put it in a starting position and you just drag it and drop it over here. So whenever you click the flag, it just puts away. For example, my sprite is somewhere over here. When I just click my flag, it comes back here. Now let's give more functions. So I'm changing this kind of stuff. So in order you have to change it, you shouldn't like delete this and just drag it and drop it. You have the values over here. So you can actually also change the values. You can click minus like yeah, -8, and the y is somewhere around -37. Yeah, I recommend to stop the code. If the code is running, you will be seeing a kind of highlighted thing over here. Okay, now let's make the code more interactive. So I'm clicking left arrow. So if you just click left arrow, it goes towards the left. Or I can make it a 0 or 0, so the code looks more accurate. Okay, now let's go to, I just click left arrow. Now here in the if statement, you can just give the thing called duplicate. Just put it over here. Then okay, the code is running, so I don't recommend the code to run. So you can just click right arrow, and this +10 you can change it as -10. And let's make our code more accurate. You can just go to events and I mean controls to go and drag and drop this kind of delay functions. So in order to make your code somewhat running perfect, okay, now we can just put these stuffs. Okay, 0.3 and 0.3. Now we just click play. So I'm clicking my left arrow. Okay, there is some sort of error, I guess, because my costume is actually it's actually running reverse. So there is sort of some sort of error over here. Now what we can do is we can actually, if you actually face those kind of error, you can actually change the thing over here. Now you can change this to minus and this to plus. So you need not want to change the arrow keys over here. You can just click play. Now, yeah, now it's working perfect. Actually saw that the sprite started to move. It's really good. Now what we can do next? So next, let's make our sprite to interact with us. So yes, the sprite can actually speak with us. So what you can do is you can just put this sort of code, say hello. So you can actually put it somewhere else, like for example when you click some kind of button, so you can just go to controls and click if, and you'll be going to sensing. When when the key space bar is pressed, it has to say hello. Now let's run the code. Now yeah, your sprite is moving. Now I'm just clicking spacebar. It's saying hello for 2 seconds and just goes. So it's as simple as possible. Now what we can do is we can actually make the sprite to ask you some questions. So in the same sensing, you'll be having this ask some sort of question. What is your name? And what you can do is once it asks the question and once you answer it, your answer will be stored in this variable answer. So what you can do next is you can just go to the like the say, you will be seeing it in the looks, I guess. Yeah, now just drag and drop the say and just go to the sensing back and drag and drop this answer over here. Now okay, once you just click the play button and just move your sprite here and there, just click space bar, it asks hello and it asks your name, so you can just type your name. Yeah, this is how simple it's interacting with us. Now, so you may think that I'm just handling with the same sprite for a long time, but why can't we add more sprites? So you'll be having an option called choose sprite. You can actually get some sprites. So you can actually search sprites. So these are the default sprites of Scratch. So you'll be seeing a lot of sprites. Now you can see this cat flying. This is one of the best thing we can ever make a game like this. It's really awesome. Now what you can do is so you can see like I'm just clicking the cat. You can see the code has been the code has actually went, because the code which you have actually done is that belongs to this particular sprite. But when you click cat flying, this code, so you can't actually see the code. Now let's do a thing. Let's click play. Okay, now we can just keep this cat over here. Now you can add another if statement. If sensing, if you if you just put the touching one, so once you put touching, you can actually select a sprite. So I'm just putting cat flying. If I just touch the cat flying, I could say like you can actually add some sort of say like any kind of stuffs. So I'm just putting like say, like I'm saying uh, okay, it's for 2 seconds. Okay, now you can say hello. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm just clicking play. I'm just moving my sprite and I'm just clicking. Yeah, it says hello. You can see it again says hello. So this is how this works. So mostly why we use this touching is because you can actually add scores over here. Now I'm just stopping the code, clicking flag and making it to 0. Now I'm just deleting this sprite. Okay, now what I'll be doing is I'll just go to I'll search a sprite and I'll search for coin. So probably coins are the most important scores we can actually say, or I'll just put a star. Yeah, I got a star over here. So check that whether that any other costume, like it has any other costume. I'm just putting a star over here. So what you can put mostly in stars now. So what we can do is, so when the cat fly, like it touches the star, now we can declare, like you can just go to star and you can just click sensing, or yeah, you can just see over here, like you can just go to a flag, yeah, on flag click, go to controls, select the if statement and go to sensing. Just if touching the sprite one, go to looks, and it should actually get hidden. And then you can go to variables. So variables are the important part where you can just put scores. So you can just click make variable. I can just put as score. Okay, you can make it for all sprites. Then you can see that the way you can actually see the variable over here. Now you can just click it. So you can just, when you just start the game, the score should actually start with 0, and when you actually touch the sprite, you have to like the score changes by 1, so you can just change it. Okay, now if for example, if I'm touching some kind of a dangerous thing, you can just click at -1, so your score reduces. Now let's try playing the game. Now I'm just going somewhere else and touching the star, and it says hello. Now what you can do is, okay, once again there is some sort of, yeah, we haven't put the forever thing here because your code only runs once, run when you just click the flag. Now we can just put forever in the if statement. I mean, put the if statement inside the forever one. Now we can just click play. Okay, once again, yeah, you have to actually show the star when you actually start the game. Now we can go to looks, and you have the option called show. Just drag it and drop it, just place it over here. Now you can actually see that the flag is on. I'm just touching, the score goes by 1. Now I can just click stop and click start again. You can once again, you can actually see that score becomes 0 and the star has actually became visible. Okay, so now this is what the scratch game is. It's much simpler. It's the very most simplest game ever, like a game software ever. So now we have actually learned how to create a game. So okay, now what you should do is, like you have to go to a website, which I'm going to say now. Like you have to go, you have to open a new tab. So before that, once again, before that, you have to just go. You'll be having an option called share. You just click that option share. So what happens is your project becomes public. Now once it becomes public, anyone can actually see it. So like it will be published in the scratch community, so you get a good recognition about that. So now what you can do is, in order to publish this in your application or an app, so what you have to do is, in order to you have to convert it to an HTML kind of stuff, and then you have to put it inside the app. Now what we'll do is, I'll just go to the website. So it's going to be sheeptester.github.io. I'll just put that in the description. You can just click that particular link and you can redirect to it. Now once you can see here, you will be having this kind of lot of things. Now you can actually just go to the project ID. So project ID is nothing but you will be actually seeing it over here. So my project ID is 418785740. So this is a public facing project ID. Now you have to go here and paste it. Now you'll be asking for a project name. You can just click like you can just click your project name. Like I'm just giving like scratch project. So you can give your own name for your game. Now you can just give your username. So it's completely safe. There's no problem over here. It doesn't ask any password. So I'm just giving my username. Now you can actually see a lot of things, so you can actually read through it. If you want those stuffs, you can actually give it. Now what you can do is, so there's actually size, so you don't need to just touch, you don't actually touch this. Right now you will be having an option called HTML5. Just click HTML5 and you can see the project would have been downloaded in HTML format. You just drag and drop it in the Chrome tab. You can actually see the game over here. Now it would be in default, it would be in the play button. Now you can actually move your thing when you just click your buttons. Now I'm just touching that, it says hello, and the score also changes. So now this is how the game works. Now, okay friends, thank you for watching this video. So I hope you can also develop more kind of these games and publish it in your Scratch website, or even the HTML stuffs. So congratulations, you have actually learned how to make games without actually coding. So in the next sessions we'll actually see about how to make these advanced games, 3D games. So we'll be seeing about that within the next sessions or within the next video. So until that, you can click the like button if you really like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button, and you'll be getting a notification, a bell icon. So when you just click it, you'll get all the notifications on my video. So thank you. So if you have any doubts, you can also post it in the comment. So that's all. Thank you.